But then, let's appreciate and respect everybody's time. And the first thing we're going to do is get a recap as soon as I get the word that the stream is live, just in case we get people.
Stream is live, and we are ready to
Thank
go.
goodness.
I did not write my lyrics like I was supposed to.
Listen,
Gotta be
I
honest.
spent years not doing my homework too. Law school changed me.
So you were gonna write some lyrics, but then you got high?
But then I got high. Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
Oh, and
X,
this
you
is
really
session
missed some good ad
24.
libbing.
It was excellent. Okay, so I did actually put in quotations at the end of my notes for last session. I was gonna record the stream, but then I got high. That's actually in my notes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I also have in my notes Sab Mayday because I got high joke and it was amazing. That was at the
Yeah.
beginning.
We did that for like 15 minutes after he did.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the rest of the session actually. It was
Yeah.
probably the most fun session, like just in terms of giggles and randoms. Oh, and I apparently at one point
And
toots
it wasn't
and
streamed.
scoots
Yep.
to try to draw its attention. Yes, I toots and scoots. Okay.
With your flute?
Do you want me to go through my
Yeah,
notes?
let's get a full recap. But so far we've already hit some of the highlights.
Okay.
I'm uncomfortable.
The Emerald Dawn departed, and we spent time in travel working on side projects. Tyrus interviewed Jacob and learned that he's died 5 times before, and each time he's sent to a different realm away from this place, and the Dawn comes to claim him. After he decided to get to know Andromeda, who had been patiently following him around. Holden's working on the combustion pot, and between conjuring spells is reading the book on Telemar. I tried to play banjo, the magical kazoo. It toots, but after playing for an hour, nothing seems to happen. So Tyrus and Morthos and myself decided to use the pox seeds and head to the dreamscape. Rayun and Andromeda watched over us from outside the room we were hotboxing, and that's when Sab made his because I got high joke, and it was amazing. In the dreamscape, I tried banjo again, but it just tooted and startled Tyrus, who drew his gun. Nothing else happened, and I put it safely away. Without knowing where to go, I tried to climb a tree, and Tyrus tried to climb a tree to find the closest body of water, and both failed. So Morithos, aka Norithos, because it was Sav piloting you, bailed us out while rubbing in the failed disguise attempt, and effortlessly climbed up the tree and pointed past the large tree in the distance. We decided to head in that direction and taking the side of the dreamscape copse instead of the glade. It was storming. There was lightning bursting up from the ground. Morthos and I were able to get around without taking much damage, but Tyrus took a bolt in a direct hit for 28 damage. We made it through the copse, and once on the other side, I healed him a small bit, and Rayun from the Emerald Dawn saw Tyrus taking damage and was able to sacrifice some of his own health and redirect it to Tyrus for him to go. We came to a clearing to 3 different areas, and Tyrus chose to go to the stream, then walked forward and pivoted in a different direction to the thicket. As soon as we entered it, we were overwhelmed with a sense of peacefulness. We walked a short way in and saw a giant bird, the dreamscape tern. It watched us. We saw nests filled with 3-foot tall eggs across the pond from the tree the bird is perched in. I tooted and scooted with Banjo, the magical kazoo, to try to draw its attention away from the direction of the eggs so Tyrus and Morthos could grab the eggs. The bird landed on the nest and talked to us. It told us there's a reason why there aren't other creatures around. All the males are gone or have moved on, so species are dying off. I asked what we could do to help, and the tern said mortals dreaming of virtuous acts fills the dreamscape with light and hope, but dark times slow these dreams. So we need to inspire the mortal realm because we got high to dream of heroes and great things. Mira asked for tales she could share through performances, but the tern said she had none to share. Tyrus shared with the tern the reality the mortal realm was facing and asked if she could help us. She said she'd pay any price, and he asked if she'd give us an egg. She laughed and said that we're welcome to take them because she hasn't seen a male in ages, so no chick could hatch from them. As we consider this, noise comes from all around the group from an unknown source. The turn says we're being hunted. We couldn't complete the combat encounter with a large lightning wolf and its wolf minions. We lost all but 2 of the eggs, either to wolf kills or fireball KOs, and are closing the session just after the turn opened its wings and quote unquote deleted 2 wolves in its vicinity. And then I ended it with I was going to record the stream, but then I got high. And
Fantastic.
scene.
That's pretty good.
I like it.
I want you to know how much I appreciate that, because even though I took pretty good notes, there were still things in there that I was like, yeah, that's important to add. Going over just adding a few things that I thought was important that are worth talking about. Holden did spend some time with the combustion pot and used mending spells to try and fix the thing. But it looks like there's going to be a little too much metallurgy, like magical metallurgy, that he can like fix the form but not fix the magical artifact. So it looks like he may need Jenny's help in the end. Andromeda agreed not only to enjoy Tyrus' company and get to know him better, but also agreed to spy on Telemar, using her role as an attendant of the gods' needs and services to offer her services and just say, hey, I'll just tell you what he's asking. Holden spent a lot of time reading the book that you guys found at the Temple of a Thousand Gods, and then I never heard anything again because I'm pretty sure he was doing taxes or something, and I was not going to interrupt that. But I do know that he not only had time to read the book, but also any extras that were left in the book, and you guys received a lot of outside healing. Not just because Tyrus got utterly obliterated by lightning, which was very funny, but also because this combat's been kind of rough, being down a couple people. So you also received a second round of healing in the fight. And I think that between that and what Meg provided is a good place to put us back at. Yes, we're still in combat, but we're at the tail end of combat. So I will draw us right back to here, where I will immediately highlight Frontline Morthos.
Yeah.
Look at that warlock, just standing there, tanking shots like a boss. Let's see.
May I ask what we're fighting?
Yes. So to set the scene properly, as Meg mentioned, you were at a pond in the dreamscape that you had found after doing a bit of exploring and navigating, trying to find the turn.
Okay.
You did at this pond. You even see there are a couple of eggs left. But the turn, after offering to give you one of the eggs, said, oh shoot, you stupid mortals are being hunted. A little nicer than that. And seconds later, you started hearing voices from these wolves that were tailing you. So the largest of the 3 wolves. Excellent. The largest of the 3 wolves is clearly the leader. He was the one that was doing the talking and like stalked in and gave a few words before the fight started, and has been commanding the lesser wolves. The one on the right just looks like a wolf. There were many more. The one on the left looks like a wolf on the top half, and the second half is, like the bottom half, is just a purple ghostly mist. Those 2 are right up in your face, and the lightning wolf has been teleporting and jumping around and doing lightning stuff a lot more, and maybe hasn't been quite as in your grill as the others.
Okay.
It is worth mentioning, because you may see that we're down a couple bodies, that Rayun and Holden stayed behind. Holden was doing research on the book, and Rayun was staying outside just to make sure everybody was okay, which ultimately is for the best, because to pull back the curtain, and Rayun has talked about this out loud, He has sacrificed almost all of his health to heal you guys. If if the ship got rocked too much by a wave, Rayun might go down right now.
I like it.
Yeah. It's not good. It's not good.
It is not. You've been receiving all of the healing that this ship and its crew can give you. So, we'll get right into it, and the first thing that's going to happen is Tyrus is going to shoot someone. Probably.
Hey, I'd like to shoot someone, probably.
Thank goodness. I hate when I'm wrong.
Probably this big wolf.
We're going to have to shoot that thing eventually.
I'm just gonna come to shoot him.
Mhm.
Shooter.
I think I might have missed.
You know what? I was just bringing up everybody's character sheets, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that a 13 does miss.
Then I'm gonna try shooting him again
All right.
because of that whole double attack thing.
Mm-hmm.
Does an 18 hit?
It does hit.
Nice. I will deal 16 piercing damage.
Gosh dang. There's something nice about having a freak laser rifle.
It's pretty cool.
No sense in masking this. You can already see his health bar, and you guys can see me do math as you take an even third of its remaining health away.
Hey, I don't see a health bar.
I don't see
gosh,
something
dang it.
either.
Well, that's actually a real bummer because I've got a lot of health bars up, but I also remember this being nope, he just disappeared.
He's gone.
Hey, we did
this
it!
has been a problem of.
We did it. I spooked him away.
Let's see if
Oh,
I can
he's back.
remember.
He's back.
That should be better.
Hey, look at that.
Also good news, he had previously taken damage.
Oh, even better. Nice.
If I'm right, you should be able to see health bars over all three of them now.
Sure can.
Okay. I know what happened here, which was I remembered to put the health bar thing on after I had populated the map with a ton of tokens. So then as I was making the changes, I was having to do those automatically or individually, and I just forgot a bunch. But yeah, so look, this wolf has lost most of its pack and is not on the winning end of this combat anymore. So now taking one more laser shot to the face, probably not doing it any favors. But we're going to go to the Ghost Wolf, the Dream Wolf. That's what it's called. It is... You know what? There's no reason for me not to just keep biting at Morthos, because that's what we got here. So I'm going to click... No, I'm going to say advantage because of pack tactics. And then I'm going to click this button. And I believe a 23 is going to hit you. That's a pretty good roll. For a lot of piercing damage. And then could I get a strength saving throw from you? Really glad I wrote all these notes for myself as I was going. Because I totally forgot the strength thing until it popped up on the damage roll. X, that's you. X, are you there? Uh-oh. We might have lost X.
Sorry, I was strength. I was just making my wife some cereal quick.
Okay.
All right. So what am I doing?
Well, you have been attacked for 12 piercing damage and also need to make a strength saving throw.
Oh.
Okay. Actually, I'm not actually sure you need to do that because you were already prone. No, you were just covered in red and blue dots. Now you're prone.
Wee.
We had one of those. We'll call that prone. You had all sorts of dots on you.
Ah, my back. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, that icon says that you've hit middle age. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm going to move to the Lightning Wolf then. who honestly just got shot in the face. So, hey, Tyrus. Guess what?
Get some.
Oh, I'm gonna try. What kind of armor are you wearing? It's
Good
actually good to
question.
know. Would you mind looking that up while I make this attack?
Chainmail.
Okay. Well, he's going to try and bite you with this Oh, it does not have advantage. So just a normal attack, but still seems pretty good.
I think that hits.
This is like me playing Baldur's Gate 3, where all of my unimportant rolls are super fantastic. So that's going to be adding this. It is 20 piercing damage
Ouchies.
plus 3 whole lightning damage.
I think that puts me at this much.
I'm going to trust your math because I didn't see where you started and wouldn't do me any good anyway. We're going to... Yeah. Additionally, let's make contested strength rolls. That seems like a good idea.
Am I doing strength or am I doing strength saving?
Strength save. I'm doing a strength roll. All right. The thing is, this thing, like a mouthful of lightning, is trying to get a good grip on you, and in spite of the fact that it hit metal, which probably hurt its teeth, it did not get enough that you couldn't shake the thing's jaws off your arm.
That's good.
And now we're gonna go back to the entirety of the heroes phase. So Mira,
Okay, I'm going to start by casting Healing Word on Morthos. Let me see what... I have one level 2 spell slot left. Are you kidding me? There you go.
well, yeah.
Have 7 hit points. Sorry, bud.
I guess the second one was just a D4, so it's not the end of the world.
That sucked. And then I'm going to do Bardic Inspiration on Tyrus. And I'm gonna GTFO back over this way.
Okay.
So, Tyrus, you have a Bardic Inspiration token.
That means like an extra 1d6 or advantage. I forget how
yes,
that works.
you get an extra d6 that you can add to a number rolled on an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Okay.
But you have to wait until after you roll the d20 before deciding to use it, and you must decide before the DM says whether the roll succeeds or fails.
Okay.
I'm gonna be pretty loose about that if you you say after I say it failed, because I'm usually like, oh, you rolled a 4, you suck.
And that ends my turn. Thank you.
Okay. Mira's safe in the undergrowth. Morthos. I will say I don't have the small wolf on the turn order. I'm just assuming that means he's got a 0 because I probably deleted the one that was on the turn order.
Gotcha. Okay.
So he's gonna go after you.
Fantastic. What level are we now, by chance? Did I miss leveling up?
6.
Okay. So I did miss leveling stuff up. Okay. Let's do some fun, shall we?
I hope so.
Which one is the one that like completely wrecked me?
The purple one, the Dream Wolf over here, was the one that just bit you. And he's getting advantage on his attacks because this one is nearby him. So they're kind of working together.
I gotcha. Well, kind of working together. Okay. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do a good. We're gonna hit this guy right here with a little poison spray.
Yeah, to the face.
That seems good.
It
I
is-
saw you ping twice. Was it for both of them?
No. This guy. It only hits one.
Got it. That does hit.
Yeah.
Or is
So-
it? Sorry, it's a DC 14, right? So I'm rolling the save. Sorry, I thought it was just a 14 against armor class. So, Constitution save. Not with advantage, but the first one. So, it does look like that one he saves.
I hate you.
Sorry
Alright.
about that.
And then we're gonna do for bonus action solid acid splash.
Okay. Dex save. Same target?
Yep.
That's this button. Okay, well that one certainly hits. That is 10 damage right in his snoot.
All right. And then my question is, I still can like move now, right?
You can. If you leave their threat range, they will get attacks of opportunity on you.
Well, I'll just sit here and we'll take it.
Okay. I need to roll for this wolf first. Let's see. So he's going to do his bite attack. He does have advantage. And he double crits. Okay. Yeah, you guys are seeing that. That's not me, right? That's Peregrine numbers.
Yeah. That is.
Okay.
This is what we get for playing not on our designated D&D night.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for Rayun and Holden to come running out from behind the tree line, like, oh, sorry, it took us so long to get here.
Astral
Yeah.
projection.
So unfortunately, I think that's going to knock you down. Which, hey, we don't have to worry about the prone
It's
roll,
okay.
but
We'll get back up again.
that's true.
Because nothing's going to
probably.
keep him down.
Let's see.
That
And
wolf
then very briefly, I need to type out one quick thing as we go to the top of the next turn. People that are outside the combat, this is generally when we've offered if you wanted to do something to try and influence the fight. Waste Windows.
I'd like to
Oh.
manifest as a giant lightning wolf and kill everything.
Oh boy.
Gosh, wouldn't we all?
I think I still got some soup. I'll drink that. I have to remember how to use soup.
You start with a spoon, probably.
You start with a fork.
Then you're not drinking the right soup.
Say that's a stew, then, friend. What can we do to influence what's
boy.
happening in this other world?
Not a ton, but kind of like the good scenes from the Matrix, you could see people are taking damage. Like, Morithos looks really bad right now. In the previous episode, Andromeda had rushed into the room to try and administer first aid, and that probably helped. Similarly, Rayun was able to physically heal people to keep people's healths up. If you thought of some other interesting way that you might be able to influence sleeping people to make this scene go better for them, I'm up for suggestions.
Like using my techno magic to create a camera so that I can teabag unconscious Morithos and take a picture of it.
I think that's a great use of your technology. I think we've established you could take pictures if you try.
So Morithos is unconscious, right? He's
Yes.
down at 0.
Yeah. So all three had
Wait,
changed
how,
them
how
are
am I
actually.
unconscious? I have 8 points.
I think that was before you took the 12.
Yeah, you
When-
took 12.
When did I just take
From
12?
the crit.
That was from the wolf here. He did
The
his
double
Oh,
23.
he
double
just hit me.
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense then.
So worth pointing out back from the scene on the outside is they had gone into one of the crew cabins or like where you guys are sleeping in order to do this with a little bit of privacy, and immediately were put under and are asleep to be in the dreamscape. It is difficult to tell, but for play sake, you could see that Morthos looks a little more unconscious than the rest.
Yeah, can't do anything to help him. Because my connection is likely strongest with Mira, I would do everything I could to give her a reason to keep fighting or inspire her or try to bolster her resolve in some way.
I bet there's something on the character sheet you could do for that. And one day, even with like 40 or 50 hours of Baldur's Gate, I still don't know all of these skills, and I never will. Let's see. What do we got? We got a loading screen.
Veteran of 4 different editions of the game, you'll get used to them just in time for a new edition to change everything.
Yeah, I can't
Ooh.
wait. 6th edition, 500 skills.
What do I roll for soup?
It is 3d8 worth of healing.
3d8. Okay.
Yeah, I can't think of anything necessarily skills-wise, but if you have any good argument that you can make, I am happy to hear it. Also, I just looked over at your like class features list and my eyes rolled back into my head, so I'm going to trust you on that one too.
Yeah, they get a lot of stuff.
That's a lot going on.
Um,
I mean, like, you could even risk going in there and just doing first aid if you have a medical kit. You're just going to have to hold your breath for the whole time because, well, you could see it too. At this point, enough people could see Andromeda, who had rushed in to administer first aid previously, is now unconscious.
Well, I healed up 10 HP. So I'm at 12.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to see.
if I were to cast let's say heroism on Mira, would she gain said effect in the other world?
You know what? I'll say yes, especially if you're combining that with an impressive speech. That seems like a great use of outside combat.
Then I'm gonna, like Trinity, I'm gonna tear a small portion of my shirt sleeve off and wipe the blood from her lip and tell her that there's one reason I believe she has to be the chosen one.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And, I'll cast heroism.
There's a lot of emotions flying around in this drug-filled room. Let's see. So, okay, I'm gonna put a marker on Mira to say that she is inspired. That seems a good one. And so, your ability modifier. She's gonna get some amount of temporary hit points every turn, right?
5. Yep.
5 points a turn. That seems pretty good.
Closest to regen I can get.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, at the Mira, at the start of each one of your turns, you're gonna get 5 temporary hit points, and you can't be frightened right now. That's neat.
Sweet.
Okay. That brings us back to the top of the round, and I believe that brings us back to the top of Tyrus.
I'm gonna shoot some stuff.
Heck, yes, you are.
Can I shoot this wolf over here? Even though there's a giant wolf in the way.
I would say you might have to like shimmy around the wolf because there's a
Like
big wolf in your way.
this. I don't think that'll cause an attack of opportunity, correct?
It would not.
Then I'll do that, and I'm gonna shoot this ghost wolf.
Okay. You sure do.
I think that hits.
I'm not even looking at
I'm gonna
shit.
use the bonus roll for damage,
Okay.
Make it dead.
and then it's a 1d6. You said, or
The Bardic Inspiration.
Yeah. Or is it a 1d4?
So
It's a
you actually do that
1d6.
after you roll. So
okay.
you could see that 11 and see that it kills the thing, and now you can just hold on to it.
Okay.
So, Tyrus, who, generally has been doing pretty well for himself, has really taken a hold over the last 8 seconds of combat. Really making a mark for himself in the faces of his enemies.
And then this other wolf, I'll shoot that one as well.
Dang. 16? Is
Yeah.
that right? Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Roll some damage. Jeez. Okay. Well, I'm just going to delete that one too, and then I'm not going to worry about putting him on the turn order.
Okay. And then for a bonus action, I'm going to cast Second Wind.
Okay. I didn't realize that was a
it's-
bonus action.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it's, what, 1d10?
1d10 plus 6?
Yeah. So 8 hit points.
That's something.
I guess it's technically temporary hit points, so I'll just add.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, let's whip up this character sheet and see if there's any fun tricks I could do.
Oh, they're not hit temporary, never mind. I misread it.
No, your hit points are, honest to goodness.
They're real. They're real
Yeah.
hit points.
Oh, I should have done that. Well, we're going to do this instead. Nah. Yeah. The Lightning Wolf has now lost its entire pack. So, he's going to call for more. So what I'm going to
Damn.
do, I'm going to roll these 46 and see if any wolves appear.
One definitely appears.
16 wolves appear.
Nail it.
And Amira
But-
runs away.
There are 16 wolves inside of you.
Whoa.
Good news, those are just regular base little tiny wolves and not like more lightning wolves. And I have in my notes, they are not allowed to spawn right next to you guys. Tempting as it is. So we're gonna do this. And this.
Mhm.
And then that is an action, so that is the thing's whole turn. So we're gonna go straight to Mira.
I'm going to try to appeal to the turn to assist us
Mhm.
in any way that it possibly can, since we watched it just delete those other wolves. And hopefully that will drive it to take action. And then I'm going to gain my 5 temporary hit points.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to... Oof. I'm thinking about trying Thunder Wave again, but because it's a Lightning Wolf, I remember that not working very well.
I do remember that we had trouble with that last time.
Yeah. So let's try... Nope, Shatter is Thunder too.
I think that's actually what we learned this on.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll just short bow then. I do not have command prepared. I have sleep, but I don't think that's going to help.
I mean, depending on how high a level you cast it at.
Alright, let's try it.
Let's see. This is one of those things I've learned about because I've been playing Baldur's Gate, is sometimes sleep is really good.
Especially when things are low.
Okay, I'm trying to sleep the giant wolf.
That is not enough hit points worth of creatures to sleep. Wow, that's a lot of description. Let's see. All right, we lost Sav for a second. Gosh, that's a lot of words. Okay. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put this token on him to remind me that he has kind of been asleep. And I think Fairy Fired, now that I think about it. We should remember that. I think that's what the wavy lines are for.
Yep.
And I am going to roll his save DC real fast, just in case.
Are you talking about to me or Sev? What?
No, Sav DC'd.
Oh, okay.
He said he had to restart his computer.
Be gone all
And-
night.
Oh, man. At least he doesn't have to get his computer
Got
from
him.
the local UPS guy. Yeah, there's no save. Okay, good to know. We're going to say right now that he is drowsy and not asleep yet.
Okay.
Because there's not enough hit points, or he has more hit points than that spell will do. But it is something, and could I also get a persuasion roll? Is that a thing? Pretty sure it's a thing.
It is.
And I'm learning. Okay, I will keep that in mind here in just a second. That roll will come into play here in a minute. First, we're going to go to Morthos, though. Could I get a death saving throw? Those
did
both
not-
seem pretty good.
Did not mean to double click both, but
That's okay. If you make enough successful ones, you'll stand back up. Or, if somebody helps you. Either way.
Is that successful?
Yep, it is just, there's no modifiers. It's just an 11 plus is successful and a 10 minus is not.
And I need to make 3 successful before I make 3 failures, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We lost Zaz to 3 unsuccessful rolls in a row. It was unfortunate and mathematically unlikely.
Do I keep doing it, or is it that's my
Nope.
turn?
It's on your turn.
Yep. I just wanted to make sure.
Could I get perception checks from everybody that's in the fight as we hit turn 0?
Even me being dead.
Yeah.
I like it.
That seems hardly possible with it being.
Well, I am
Skill
dead,
and proficiency.
so that works out perfectly.
Oh no!
That seems very on par
Yeah.
for him.
That, you know what? That does work.
Like, I'm dead. That's what happened.
The two of you who are conscious in this realm, in spite of not rolling very well at all, Mira, let's be real, you didn't roll much better than him. You still hear something. There is a voice far off that is familiar. And I'm going to say, Tyrus, look, you rolled better than Mira, even if it doesn't look that way. You at least understand enough to recognize your name. With that, the Turn, who heard Mira's instructions, will give the gentlest of nods, because it is a large, peaceful-looking bird. Will flap over to where the wolf has just emerged, and with its wings already out, will now close them, enveloping our wolf friend. And I don't think we'll be seeing him again. Tyrus, can you put this wolf to bed? I believe in you. Especially because now we just remembered that he's got fairy fire on him.
He's also drowsy.
And he's
half asleep.
drowsy. Yeah.
I'm gonna risk an attack of opportunity and move here.
That is going to risk an attack of opportunity. Let's see what happens. Come on, no double critorino.
It misses,
That does miss.
and then I will shoot it with the beam rifle,
Mm-hmm.
which I guess you said it's advantage, right? But that doesn't matter.
Yep.
Well, I guess
Sure
it
didn't.
does. It does matter because I might crit the second time. It didn't. Okay.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
It could have crit with the advantage.
coulda crit.
Just saying. But it didn't matter. So I'll attack now, and I will roll the thing no matter what I roll. With the bardic inspiration.
Yep. Okay.
So 11 points, and then I'll attack it one more time.
Mm-hmm.
I hit the wrong thing.
Sure did. Dang.
And then
Everybody witness Tyrus. And all you know what? Also witness Morthos. He tanked a lot.
Morthos did pretty great.
Yeah. All right. The Lightning Wolf is going to try and make your life uncomfortable again. Because there's only one thing left, I can do these a lot faster. That should have done something. It didn't. There. Wow. You know what? It's the drowsiness. He can't hit you, Tyrus. You are
I'll take
the
it.
alpha species. Oh, there's the second one. Well, whatever. The first one was the one that mattered.
Well, I would say he has pack tactics, doesn't he?
No, because you only get pack tactics if there is a friendly creature besides yourself adjacent to your target.
Oh, adjacent. Okay.
Yeah, so if that other wolf was in melee with you, he would, but
Okay.
right now he doesn't.
Sweet.
So that is just a miss, and I'm going to move on to Mira. Mira, 6 HP. Can you bring us home?
I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna use sneak attack since he has somebody in melee
Bars get sneak attack? That's amazing.
to get advantage, and
Mhm.
I'm just gonna try to shoot him with my short bow.
Mm-hmm.
18 hopefully hits.
An 18 does hit.
Excellent. Plus I get the sneak attack damage of an extra d6 for 12 damage.
Just hit that delete button for you.
Woo! We did it!
So a bunch of things are going to happen real quick. First, Morthos, you don't have to worry about death saves anymore.
I'm gonna come over here and heal him
Ooh,
when it's
Am
possible.
I back alive?
Yeah. Presumably, Mira has some sort of medicine roll, yeah?
Yep. I was gonna do healing word, but I can absolutely use medicine to stabilize him.
Healing word is probably safer. And it's faster.
It's only 7 hit points, but you're not in the negative anymore, so that's good.
Yep. That'll put you back at 7 and wake you up. Sort of.
Ooh, I'm wakey.
Then I'll help him stand up.
And then you push me back down. I get it.
I just give you a gentle shove into the pond. Okay, so this is effectively going to end combat. We've got this one little wolf over here, but let's be real. This wolf is not scared. He's the new alpha. But hey, remember that voice that I told you about?
Yeah. Well, Tyrus, because Tyrus was the only one that heard it.
Yeah.
Mira, you also heard that there was a voice. It was just Tyrus was able to make out his name.
Mm.
Like, you heard the sound. You just couldn't make heads or tails of it. There was a combat going on. Makes sense. That voice is a lot clearer now.
What is it saying?
You hear a bellowing shout over the tree line, probably over the clouds themselves, that shouts out, "Tyrus, I'm coming for you."
Is it Andromeda?
And
Gross.
it sure is. If
Oh, boy.
not a few stories tall, we're gonna go with she is towering over the tree line.
It sure is.
Oh, that was my voice. I hated that.
Oh, sorry.
How can you put up listening to me? My voice is awful.
My computer had some shenanigans going on. Sorry.
No problem.
Shenanigans.
So's your microphone.
Turn that
It's
mic
okay.
down
That
for
sounds
a
like it's
second.
still having some shenanigans going on.
Andromeda, as she finds this scene, sees what's going on and with like a glare like nothing more. There's no verbal components, no nothing. She just looks at that wolf and it explodes in lightning. Which means I get to delete that wolf. Even the Tern, who lives in this weird place, seems on edge. But now that the scene looks like it's calmed down a little bit, we'll say you see she like maybe voluntarily shrinks down to her normal sphinx size. And she's fairly out of breath. So as she shrinks down, she's, oh, good, you're okay. You're all okay.
Yeah,
Did you
everything's fine.
Did you find what you were looking for?
Yeah, they're over there. There's eggs. Guess we should figure a way out of here and take this back.
I think we just need to be woken up. Dang it. I love that Holden's biggest contribution to the last couple rounds of this fight has been just like banger pun after banger pun. So yeah, Andromeda like looks up, and now that she is noticeably smaller than the Dreamscape Tern, gives the bird a respectful bow and looks over at you, Tyrus, before taking a step over to the pond and just like dunking her face in it. And almost immediately, as her face hits the water, she vanishes. Those of you on the outside, hey, Andromeda woke up. She is startled. And you see her like very quickly take stock of where she is and what's going on before she like scrambles her way out of that room, slamming the door behind her.
Did you have fun?
She looks a little wide-eyed. It's they're okay now. Everything's okay.
Yeah. You dove head first in there.
Someone had to.
Right.
So, back to the Dreamscape, folks. The Tern, seeing that there is now no more threat, hops back over towards her perch. You can see that there are a few small streaks of red on her lower feathers. And the Tern says, well, you have more than earned these eggs. If only I could offer you more of a reward for them. But your service has been most appreciated. And she even like extends a wing over the 2 remaining eggs.
I'm going to come
Do you
close
think
to her
any-
and bow a little bit and say, I'll try to tell as many uplifting tales as I can about our adventures here with the beautiful Dreamscape Tern.
Her plumage puffs up a little bit in response. And she says, you're free to take both of the remaining eggs, if they will be helpful to you.
We hope so. Thank you for this gift that we cannot repay.
She also gives you a very deep bow. No, I'm not giving you that one. Try. She gives you a very deep bow and looks over to Tyrus and Morthos. Before she hops and takes off in flight, and not as suddenly or shocking as when Andromeda did it, but the turn sort of just fades into the skyline.
As our friends wake up, can I go in there and escort them as they start to wake up?
Try. I'll give you that one. All right, that's not bad.
Okay.
I will give me just a sec, Sav, and I will keep that in mind. I'm assuming everybody seems content to grab the eggs and then
Come back.
wake themselves up.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, how does that work? Do we have to like hold the eggs when we're trying to wake ourselves up, or is it kind of like they'll phase with us, or?
There weren't really great instructions, so do your best. It'll probably work. I will also say in the outdoors, Andromeda also cracks the porthole open to like vent the. Even though the incense is fading, still get that stuff out.
Yeah.
So yeah, do your best, Tyrus. I believe in you.
Okay. I guess I do my best and return back to the world of living.
Sure. You can take these are large eggs, 3 feet tall. Like that's nothing to sneeze at. But you can grab one of them and then gently like dip your face in, and the cold water of the pond shocks your senses. You immediately awake back in the room. It's still fairly hazy in here, and it's getting cramped. There are actually a lot of people in here. But as you awake holding this very large egg. And presumably, here in the next couple seconds, Morthos and Mira also wake up, and I'm guessing Mira also holding one of these eggs.
Which I am immediately going to set gently down next to me and then like curl up into the fetal position and let Holden hold me.
That's fair.
She did not like being high and did
Yeah.
not like going to the other world and watching everybody die around her. And she just needs a
that
minute.
was a little bit of a rough one.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Good news though. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just are you guys okay? What did you guys see down there?
Fucking wolves, man. Fucking
Just
wolves.
another Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, with wolves, man.
Similarly, I should add, Tyrus, Andromeda, like maybe a little hesitantly stops her, like trying to get the air clear, and rushes over to start administering first aid on you as well. By the way, yes, you guys can see you are wounded. Those wounds came over to the real world as well. Morthos, you are in a lot of pain.
Oh yeah.
And there's nobody cradling you. This sucks for you.
Hold
I'm
on.
used
Let
to
me share a little vitality, and I go ahead and give everybody five more health points. So I'm
Okay.
down to 2 again.
Maybe we should just take a long rest instead.
That's probably fine.
Long
That's
rest. Long
probably,
rest. Long rest.
We just go to sleep instead, you know.
Yeah.
You are in a perfectly safe place. There is nothing stopping you from a long rest, and there's even an entire crew plus a couple bodies that can help keep watch while you sleep. So, with that, hey, we can get off of this scene, go back to the ship, where I hope everybody is. We nailed it. And I even have the right Andromeda. Thank goodness.
Woo.
I was worried about that. And yeah, hey, this is a perfect opportunity for everybody to rest and relax a little bit. The 2 eggs are both secure. It's good you have a backup just in case, but I don't imagine that any wolves are going to appear out of nowhere to attack the eggs. So the next step is, what's the plan? I know that Holden was doing a little bit of research, and in theory, there are a couple places I can think of that you might want to go to, but it'd probably be a good idea, once you guys are rested up and healed up and all, to discuss, hey, what are your plans? Where are you headed from here? And in order to prompt this conversation, once, maybe the next morning over breakfast, Jacob will ask, because he needs to plot a course, where you guys plan on going so that he can take you there.
Don't we need the Queen of Spite?
Perhaps not.
Oh, really? What have you found?
I've learned by reading the assorted excerpts from Tales of Telemar's Delight that he might have a particular proclivity for the flesh of something called a Horrorfex, a creature unknown to me, but we may want to look it up and see if it exists in our world, and if it does, how killable it is. Because in the past, he's enjoyed a feast of Horrorfex flank. With
Interesting.
some particular spices, including Cinderman. And also, at some point, we need to head back to Steamboat Sally's and not get shotgun in the face so she can fix the combustion pot.
Mm-hmm.
Is that on our way?
I mean, I guess it depends where we're going.
So, fix the combustion pot, then and find out more information about the horror flank.
A spiced flank of Horrorfex. Horrorfex. I guess not horror. Horrorfex.
Haro.
Hello.
The best part is I was going to type that out, and then I was like, I should probably make sure I spelled that right.
My mind just wanted to add that R there to correct, or to like autocorrect horror.
Yep. Okay. Let's see. So I'm going to temporarily bring up the Satiri map for everybody. Just to point out that you guys had this while you were, or you did this dreamscaping while you were about here. It's going to be a few days. Jake was very open about, hey, listen, we had really great wind, so we're going to have really terrible wind on the way back. Sorry about that. So it's going to be a few days of travel to get you to Noka Bay. That is where Jenny is, so that she can fix the combustion pot for you. And then I will swap to the Porta Maria map, and I kind of wish I had these all together, but these are literally pieces of paper. So we then would find ourselves at Noka Bay here. It would be probably another 3, maybe 4 days to get to Porta Maria. And there was talks about going to Cross's Rest here.
But if we know that we need to get the flesh of the Horrorfex, we don't have to go back for the Queen of Spite. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We just have to drop off Little Man.
By the way, as you start even talking about not fighting the Queen of Spite, you can see color flushing Jacob's face. Like maybe he was not excited about that leg of the trip.
Don't worry,
Uh,
Jacob. I think we found a different solution.
Well, I'm not going to say I'm disappointed about that.
Well,
All right.
let us test this idea on you. What do you know about horror effects?
Well, most I can say I know is it sounds an awful lot like you're trying to ask me about Ladies of the Night, and the answer is, a little, but not enough to talk about in present company.
You know, Oro fucks.
Tell me a little bit more about this lady. Get me the horror effects. But he does shake his head and say, if you're talking about a creature, I couldn't say I know anything about it, but Porta Maria's got some of the best hunters in the world. So if somebody's going to know about it, probably find them there.
So we can keep the loop of Noka Bay to Porta Maria. Still kind of suits our purposes.
Seems good to me. Do you want to stop at Crossrest? Drop a kid off? Maybe get a small bounty?
Yep.
Yep.
But we need to swing by Noka Bay first.
Right. All right. It's on the way. No problem. All right. Great. Got a plan. Couldn't be happier. So, that's going to give us a few days worth of sailing, which I'm very excited for. I made a picture of it.
Hooray!
So, our first stop, it is about 4 days worth of travel, but we find ourselves heading to Noka Bay. Oh, I missed one. Nailed it. Noka Bay, mercifully, is exactly like you left it. It is just as peaceful and yet still kind of energetic, but laid back as where you left it. The people are moving at their own pace. The breeze is gentle and the weather is fine. And everyone seems to be having a pretty nice day of it. Except probably the person you're here to see. You find yourselves back at Jenny's Salvage, having to walk up the same set of weathered steps you did before. There's a brand new door. It even looks like it has been decently mounted to the frame.
Hey, she fixed the door.
Your boots are not quiet as you're approaching, and one of you is carrying a giant magical pot. So could I get perception checks?
Oh, sorry, I did that with advantage.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of that. I do it all the time. I'm not worried about it. And your other roll's still pretty good. Didn't get anything from Holden, but that's okay. Mira, you did more than well enough. As you get... Oh, there. Perfect. Mira and Holden together, you two are leading the pack. Heck, Holden, you're probably carrying the pot. As you get to the front door, and take maybe a second to admire, hey, there's a new door. It doesn't have any holes in it, and it's well mounted. You hear mechanics on the other side, and I'm going to say probably remember this scene well enough to know that there is an ambush waiting for you.
Defensive stance.
I'll take the front shield down.
Actually, I should say, making sure that both of you remember how this last encounter went down. I think you guys, yeah, you entered the shop and she pulled guns on you. Well, I heard a nod from Holden, but
I'll go in. I don't give a shit. I've already
I
been
said
basically
defensive
killed
stance, so
multiple
I
times.
am definitely toward the back of the line.
I will go in with shield and say hello.
Yeah, that's smart.
okay. Why don't I have the two of you guys make dex saves? We'll go with dex saves.
Well, I have my shield up.
You sure do. Okay.
I clicked the wrong thing. I did.
A dex
I
roll
didn't-
instead of dex save.
Yeah.
That's yeah, but that is totally true. But I also see that there's an 18 on that d20, so you're fine.
Okay.
I'm going to quickly look at something. Yeah. So the two of you walk in the door. There's a gentle tingling of a brass bell over the door to inform Jenny that someone has arrived. And Jenny is sitting atop a cannon. Just a flat out cannon that is lit and pointed at the front door. Morthos, you have the presence of mind because you've been through wars, or at least guard duty. That you know how to get out of the way of a cannon. Rayan, you rolled a 7. So you are about to just get blasted.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that's about right.
Well, there goes most of my health. I am down to 2 health.
The smoke on the cannon starts to she, by the way, you hear her cackling and screaming as this cannon fires. And a couple seconds later, as your hearing returns, because a cannon was fired 10 feet away from you, you see, hey, Rayun is mostly on the ground. Morthos is on the side. I can only imagine holding back a snicker. And thank goodness the door was open, because now she doesn't have to replace it. As that smoke begins to clear, Jenny realizes who you are. Oh, shoot, I am so sorry. Why didn't you...
I said hello and pass out.
She goes over and she starts administering a healing potion to get you back on your feet. But she's... Don't you know, you guys gotta knock on the door. You remember last time? And it's only gotten worse. These dumb sailors will not stop propositioning me. This is a salvage shop, not a whorehouse. Anyway, sorry about that. Well, yeah, at least I got to confirm the cannon's still working. That's good.
Yep, still working.
Gotta work on the fuse, though. We'll work on that. Anyway, hey, what can I do for you? So, Sam, you heal 9.
Okay.
She says, so what can I do for you? And she grabs a rag and starts to go clean out the cannon that she just fired. There's gunpowder residue everywhere.
The combustion pot still has a little bit of soot.
Oh, did you find... Oh, what I need? The Arflame stone. Did you find one?
Kind of just handing it off to Mira and
Yeah,
them.
that's fair.
And granted, I just got shot by a freaking cannon.
Yeah, that's reasonable that you could like look up at the two of them and be like, please save me for this conversation.
I look up at them and I just
We did recover an Auraflame stone. I'm just gonna like peek it in my hand out from around the corner.
Oh, great. Come on in. Bring the pot and then we'll see what we can do for you. And real quick,
Stand down the cannon.
yeah. Oh yeah, she's cleaning it now. Meg, you have been around for the part that I was really, really needing you for. I would be sad to lose you, but if you need to go, I understand. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. I think I may go lay down. Thanks, guys.
No problem.
Love
Get
you,
better.
Meg.
Bye, Meg.
All right. So yeah, as you know, you procure the stone and the pot. She looks over everything and says, "Ooh, yeah, this will do nice. Ooh, and the pot's even cleaned. I appreciate that. Someone's been messing around with this a little bit. I won't tell Ranmar." Okay, well, let's get this thing ground up. Jammed into this thing. We'll get you back on your way, huh? The process ends up taking a couple hours. She is very meticulous about this. At one point while you are there, she does have to fire her gun at somebody who walks up to the front door, but don't worry, that person learned their lesson. Oh hey, probably put her on the map. But she leads you in back and to a remarkable shop. Like, she sells salvage, but very clearly works on a lot of that salvage. The process is mostly metallurgy, making an alloy out of that stone and some spare ingots that she's got laying around, and scrap. But she does invite you to help with the process, and frankly, your experience will probably be invaluable in a way that I'm bringing up your character sheet to see if there's any rolls that we need to make. Naturally, I was wrong. No, that's not true. Why don't you give me an Arcana check? Jeez, you were made for this. Kind of literally. So, she handles a lot of the physical side of this, right? Hammer in hand, beating metal against anvil, folding Auraflame stone powder in. Meanwhile, she gives you some instructions, a few sort of variations on some basic spells. You recognize some of the writings from the mending spell you were casting, along with some other basic things. You think maybe there's some burning hands in there, and also probably some spells that it might be nice to learn at some point. But she asks for your help because this takes a while. But about 2 hours later, she finishes with giving the thing a nice polish and says, "Well, there you go, kids. Brand new. Your very own combustion pot." Well, Ranmar's, but I won't hold that against you. I guess you'll be heading out then. Well, if you see him, tell that slidebait that he still owes me, but it was nice to work on a project at least.
I thank you very much for your time and your knowledge.
Anytime. Maybe I'll stop by and see this god you're all talking about.
Thanks for testing my durability.
Thanks for letting me test the cannon then, sweetie. And she, escorts you to the door, and you hear a click of the door. Gosh dang it, she does not like visitors.
Duck and cover.
Mm-hmm.
Click, click, boom.
So it sounds like the next stop was to Cross's Rest, yeah?
Yep.
Well, that puts us here. As I go to the right scene. Nailed it.
And another long rest.
Plenty of long rest. Look, you guys have time, right? This is not a quick sail. Getting from Cross's Rest to Noka Bay took you guys a little over a day. It's taking you about 3 days on the return trip. So you have plenty of time, not just to rest and recover, but do some studying, training, appreciate the fact that you're now level 6 and all of the neat stuff that comes with that.
By the way, were those all D8s?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was also a really good roll.
Yeah. Like one crit, one really good one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2 points
So-
away from instant character death.
Yeah.
Jeez.
If it had been 44, I would have just made it knockdown. You probably weren't going to die from that cannon, but I had to get a point across.
I mean, I did have my shield up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how'd that help you?
It did good. I was able to like
So technically,
kinda
the
roll
cannonball
it.
didn't rearrange my guts. Technically, it was the shield that did it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Actually,
So, 3 days of travel later, we find ourselves on the same gloomy shores that we left them at. Cross's Rest. A nice hamlet right on the shores of the northern edge of Port of Maria, or of Isla Maria. Used mostly as a base camp to get access to some of the higher mountain peaks so the monster hunters can do their thing and bring back lots of treasure and glory. The town is not much different than when we left it. It's gloomy. There are not a lot of people around, but at least it's better than last time when there were 0 people around. You at least see a couple people here and there at markets or walking from building to building. And you can recognize that, hey, a couple heads are starting to turn as a ship is coming in. I'm going to have you guys roll your own insight on this one, if you wouldn't mind. Everybody who's present. All right. Well, definitely Tyrus because his number is green, and also Holden because it's the same number. As you are starting to sail in, you see that the people are taking notice, and a couple people like point at the ship. The ship starts to get enough attention that that town starts to stir a little bit. You can tell, even before the ship is close enough to moor, that that was weird. Okay. You are going to have a greeting, a welcoming party. And it's probably the kind of welcoming party that has weapons.
Ah. That's right. We didn't leave here on good terms.
You didn't.
Because
Uh,
what's his face? The fat guy that like was buckling the I think our like drawbridge. Yeah, he wasn't a cool person.
So, Jacob steers the ship into the one lone dock, and as you guys are putting down the gangplank, you could see that there is the mayor surrounded by no less than half a dozen guards. They don't take up that much space, but token size. The mayor, as Sav kind of described him, definitely not the sort of man who's seen his neck in a while, or maybe other parts, but is standing there with his arms crossed and a look of such indignation and self-importance that he looks like just about anything you guys would do would be an affront, let alone parking your ship here. The guards that are with him are armed, but are standing at the ready. They don't have their halberds pointed at you or anything. Presuming you disembark.
Conor McGregor strut off, just really letting them know.
That works for me.
I'll follow right behind him.
Yeah. The lot of you could make your way to shore, and the rest of town looks like they have been vacated from this immediate area. But the mayor steps forward with the guards keeping close enough to him that as you get close, he says, so our blessed vandals have returned to us. And to what do we owe this pleasure? Have we not given you enough? Have you not taken everything you can from our simple homes?
We are on business at the moment. We have a we have cargo that needs to be dropped off to somebody that lives in this village.
So now you are telling me that you are honest merchants? The last time I remember you coming through my town, we were lucky to still have a town. It was in shambles. The cleanup took days. Truthfully, I'm proud of everyone here for recovering from what you did to us.
Oh, do tell, what did we do? Because I remember a different story. I would like to hear you out and see if our stories line up.
Vandals, pirates, thieves, and murderers alike. Our town was perfectly fine off until your ship passed by, and when it did, we were left with corpses and tracks.
See, we had a different story. See, and for everybody listening, your city was already in shambles. Many dead, if I remember correctly. And, you were nowhere to be found, nor any of the guards, for that matter. Would you care to explain that?
I feel like this is the sort of thing that you might want to accompany with a skill roll. Just to really hammer that home.
Which one is that?
Probably persuasion.
Persuasion. All right.
Intimidation will work, yeah. However you feel like handling the situation.
I guess that would be Probably intimidation, yeah. Let me
Mhm.
see what that looks like. Still a 2. Sorry, I'm messing around.
Mhm.
There we go. Just a normal roll, or
Mhm.
with advantage because Morthos is there.
Do you want me to do an intimidation roll? Because I'm very intimidating with my arm.
You know what? More of those. I want you to make your roll first, and we'll see how that impacts his roll. As you're, I'm assuming, like standing behind, just giving them the mean mug.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Give them the business, as some
Yeah.
might say. A 3.
Ooh,
What a fucking nightmare.
dang.
All right. Here we go.
So no advantage for sure.
Don't
Yeah.
mind me. Gonna kill myself. We're fine.
Well, here we go. There we go.
Okay. A 17, way better than the 9.
Mm-hmm.
So the way this sort of, yeah, makes sense. The way this looks is like you start opposing him, right? Like suggesting that maybe he's not telling the truth. And for being as round as he is, he's also fairly large. So, Rayan, you maybe are like getting up on your toes a little bit to see eye to eye or to get the height advantage on him. The guards see this display and, to your credit, don't like react, right? Like they don't lower weapons or anything. They are content to let the mayor continue to handle this situation. And he, to his credit, stands his ground. He looks right back at you and says, well, I find that very interesting, considering there is a warrant out for the 5 visitors to our village.
Very interesting. And who by chance said that?
With a flourish, he points both of his hands right at his chest. He says, it was my mayorly duty. Let me know if you ask that question.
Oh,
Okay?
he's asking.
Sometimes it's hard to tell if the text is to make jokes or to add insight. No, it's fine. Look, Tyrus, he looks around Rayun, who is up in his grill right now. For many things. For vandalism, trespass, kidnapping. I could list the whole of the cause, but it's enough that by all accounts, I should have these men take you into Port Maria. Perfect. Yeah, so he then says that loud enough that you will hear it from the ship.
Well, here's the thing. We do have the child, and we do plan to return him to his parents.
Oh, so the child lives.
The child has been taken care of very well, in fact.
So much
Our
for the
band
village's running theory that you had kidnapped him for some sort of cult sacrifice. With the gods running around, we assumed it was cult sacrifice.
Interesting. Well, we do have the child. If you would like to bring the parents and we can hand the child directly to the parents without you interfering, obviously, and we'll be on our way.
I think I
Because
will
we have other business in Porta Maria.
I think I will keep the guards here. He turns behind him and please bring out Mother Elovnia. A guard from the rear of the formation marches off into town. And a very tense, minute or two later, about 2 minutes later, you hear the marching of the guards. There's two of them now, returning. In tow is a woman, probably mid-50s, looking a little less than well off, but looks like she's trying really hard. Right? Sort of like thin, brittle hair and a look of exhaustion, but is trying to cover that up with, maybe some alright makeups and the like. She approaches and walks right up to the mayor without missing a beat at all. Elovnia steps right beside the mayor, and he very gingerly takes her hand in his. My dear Elovnia, it appears the kidnappers have returned and wish to make amends. She looks at the lot of you, and it kind of lights up a little bit. Oh, I'm so thankful for that. We've been so worried. The little one's disappearance has hit everyone very hard. And so I'm so thankful that you've come to make this right.
Can I roll can I roll for a deception check?
If you're trying to detect deception,
Yeah.
that'd be insight.
Insight, okay.
You know what? Go ahead and roll that yourself as well. I think I still like rolling stealth for you, but I think insight, Baldur's Gate has taught me. Yeah, you can just roll that.
13.
Tyrus, I got you, and I will get to you in just a second. Well, yeah, you do not have any insight.
Yeah, no insight.
I'll type you this, and while I do, Tyrus, he definitely hears your question. Too many G's. And one more typo for the road. Nailed it. The mayor bristles at the insult. Says, "How dare you? Like I wouldn't know the identities of every single one of my citizens."
Well, answer his question already.
Poor, sweet, innocent Kozu. Such a beautiful light in our community. Taken from us. But now, Elovnia, to be returned to you. She looks to the mayor and then to you, Rains. So Kozu lives? I thought you said he'd been sacrificed.
I think our lovely mayor here has been lying to you this whole time, because we've had him since we came here, and we rescued him from a pack of raptors that had seemingly ran through this village here, if memory serves. And Kozu has been in our possession for many long moons, and he's been taken care of. We've fed him. Um, we've given him all the hygiene that he could ever have. But I don't think our lovely mayor has given you all the details.
I informed you, Ilovnia, that it was likely that he'd been sacrificed to one of the gods walking around. It's hardly my fault that I can't put myself into the head of these criminals.
But
She-
I do remember you said that we sacrificed him in our earlier conversation. Not that we would ever.
Yes, I did. I was surprised that you have not. And I maintain that I had it on good suspicion that you would.
But not authority.
The best judgment of myself and the townsfolk.
Oh yeah, Kozu's on the ship.
I mean, like, is he above deck listening to this, or is he still below deck?
You know what? Could you give me an insight check as well?
Yes. It's not going to be very good.
He's definitely below deck still. It looks like he is still hanging out with Primrose and Andromeda.
Is there any value, do you guys think, in just either letting him be a part of this conversation, or at least like letting him sneakily listen to it just to see what his thoughts are on this?
I
This guy's
think.
got like child molester written all over him.
Oh yeah, I think so too. I think he should be listening in and answering anything that we like any suspicions that we may have.
Because Kozu's parents aren't here, right?
According to the conversations that we've been having with this lovely fat man and Mother Ilovnia, she is the rightful caretaker of Kozu, and I guess his mother.
As the GM, I can confirm that is the what has been suggested by the conversation.
But I thought, correct me if I'm wrong then, like sort of meta conversation, I thought Kozu told us he had parents.
Past tense, yeah.
Oh, they're gone, and so he's living in like an orphanage style situation. I guess
okay.
I missed that part, sorry.
So, if you like, you can feel free to interject him into this conversation. I like the picture of you like hucking him onto the deck.
Like gently, but like none of this feels right to me. I want to see, like, young children especially have like a very intuitive sense for right and wrong. I want to be able to see and read his reactions to this.
Sure. Well, your insight check beforehand sucked. Let's not split hairs. But you don't need much of an insight check to see this as you sort of usher him onto the top deck, and he looks out over it. He's kind of excited because he likes the sailing part, and then he sees where he's at and sees the people on the dock, and you don't need an insight check at all to see him shrink back underneath the railing.
That's what I was afraid of. Do you not want to go home, Kozu?
He does not respond to you verbally, but his eyes are wide, and the gentlest head shake gives you all the answer you need.
All right. I think radical change of pace. Let's just tell them we've decided to keep him for sacrificial purposes, and they can fuck right off.
You know
I mean-
what? Big,
You can be as
Man.
tactful as you want to, but I'm done with this person.
we're done with this conversation, and we'll be on our way. And I immediately turn around and get back on the ship.
He takes the two of those with maybe a little between your statement and Tyrus's, with maybe a little less grace than he has been trying to show, but far more is Alovnia when she has been told that Kozu is around and that now he's not coming back. Like, she goes through two emotions very fast, and I'm gonna give you these, Rayun, that it is a flash of joy followed by a furious anger. And she shouts over the beginnings of Orzo's protestations and any further insults that Tyrus can give. Well, so that's it? You're just gonna walk off with nothing to show for it? That child belongs here with me.
According
And
to
if you're
him,
gonna Go ahead.
according to him, he does not want to be here. He has shown that he does not want to be here. And whatever you guys did to him is abhorrent. And we will have Porta Maria come over here and tell you off.
the mayor steps in and tries to reclaim the conversation from Alovnia. What we've done to him is provide a stable community when no one else could or would.
When the child is clearly scared of this area. So,
Perhaps he should be when pirates so willingly walk on our shores.
pretty sure he took one look at this place, because I looked behind me, and he was scared. He does not want to be here, and neither will we. I'm sorry, Alovnia, but Kozu will be staying with us.
She just does not hold back anymore. And Rayun, you are an armored soldier / hero. This woman has nails that look like they've been taken care of. And for just a second, you think that you might actually need to worry about those nails coming at your face. The two guards that escorted her over maybe have the presence of mind from some of your earlier conversation to grab her by the shoulder and make sure that she doesn't gouge your eyes out. But she seems pretty interested in gouging your eyes out. She is screaming obscenities that I dare not repeat.
Lots of beeps and boops.
Yeah. A lot of holding shift and hitting 1 through 10.
Yikes.
The mayor, seeing that Elovnia is not going to be allowed to step forward, says, "Very well. If you insist on your criminal record persisting, I, in my generous position, was prepared to offer a pardon. But by all means, return to Porto Maria and see the welcome that you receive when you get there."
Oh, it'll be a welcome over there because they haven't even talked to you, if I remember correctly. You guys haven't even made contact with Porta Maria since whatever happened here. And we're gone. Bye.
He has a twitch on his upper lip, but is still trying to hold a snarling smile on his lips. Elovnia is not making any such efforts. But nothing's stopping you, and hey, this ship makes a pretty good U-turn. Yeah,
Hey.
you can make pretty good time getting out of this port.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Toodaloo.
Yeah,
fantastic.
this NPC pisses me off.
Good. Mission accomplished.
I
So
kinda
let's
want
get
my
you.
arm to eat him.
I mean, he is unfortunately in a position of power that might get you greater criminal charges.
That's why I said I wish my arm could eat him.
Yeah. So it sounds like I'm going to move you guys back to this screen because
sorry
we
for
ain't
putting
sticking around.
sorry for putting you through that, Kozu.
He is clutching the toy ship that he's been playing with and is kind of wringing it in his fingers. He is uncharacteristically quiet, but when you apologize to him, he does at least nod to you for a second. And he even sort of squeaks out a, "Thank you for trying to take me home."
Is it okay if I give you a hug?
He nods kind of gently.
I like pick him up gently and I just like hold him just like a kind of like a soft squeeze just to let him know that like this is a hug.
Mm-hmm. It takes a second, but after a little bit, he does get the message. So let's head to Porto Maria, huh?
Yeah.
We have been going for about 2 hours, so why don't we take a quick 5-minute break and then we'll make that transition. But at the very least, I'm going to load this onto the token layer and then say, "Hey, how about a quick 5 minutes, huh?"
Woo woo.
Yeah.
All right. See you in 5.
Quick question before you take off.
Sure.
What time are we playing till tonight?
No later than 8:30.
Okay.
So yeah, we started early so that we could end early. Because I'm literally going to switch Discord channels and go to another game.
All right. So you're
Not that I don't
got
love you, but
got like an hour, right?
no more than an hour.
Cool.
So, see you in 5.
Toodaloo, motherfucker.
All right, it's been 5 minutes and I have a cookie.
Welcome back.
All right, I heard one voice. Thank goodness I didn't just announce my cookie into the void.
Well, I brought meatloaf.
That's also good. Man, I wish I had some meatloaf.
That's not a cookie though.
It's not. It's like a meat cookie though.
Yeah, it's kind of
I
like a meat
brought
cookie.
A meat cookie.
a giant cup of water.
That's also good.
Meat cookie.
Have we heard back from Try? Okay, then I'll wait a minute. That's fine. I will vamp by saying, man, sometimes it's just nice to play NPCs that you guys hate. Right? Like, hey, so many of the people that I have are like, oh yeah, I'm happy to help. Sure, we'll do the right thing. We'll be good people. And then every once in a while, you guys run into somebody that's just a dickbag.
Yep.
That's fun too.
I'm gonna borrow that voice for my campaign. It's such a snotty voice. I love it.
I practiced that because the trick to that I decided was figuring out where my jaw was supposed to be. And once I figured that out, it was a lot of fun. Because what I realized is you really have to talk like you've got a massive overbite and pull your lower jaw back so that when you make an S sound, instead of your teeth coming together, your teeth are very far apart. So all of those S's come out with a lot of extra sound.
I just assumed you took a big chunk of dip and just stuffed it in your lower lip and talked
I
that
might
way.
get something similar. But you know, I am politely going to refuse the dip.
Try his back. He responded in the
Welcome.
chat.
Yes, you
Lip.
did.
It's true.
So I'm going to quickly choose cookie while we load the next section. So we leave Cross's Rest and do a little bit of sailing, but honestly, a lot of rowing. The winds are not favorable as you travel south. We have talked previously about the Blade Gale Strait and how great it is for going north or northeast. Not good when you're going south. So, not you guys though. You are honored guests. Instead, frankly, it's mostly Shirt Guy and Jacob that are doing most of the rowing. So it does take you a couple days. But eventually, you do make your way to Porta Maria. Thank goodness we did it. We got home. Waiting for you, as you pull into dock here, is not a platoon of armed guards, but instead, I almost put you back on Cross's Rest. Where are we going? We're going
Porta Maria.
this scene. Waiting for you at the dock, of all people, is not the armed guards and not a culinarian, but your sort of interim captain, Brendan Stafford.
Stafford!
He is just sitting on a pile of crates, and like he watched your ship as it pulled into dock. So he was ready as the lot of you disembark. I have Jacob there too because he disembarks as well, and is with you as you leave. Brendan gives him a respectful nod, and as the lot of you come forward, he says, well, "Look at you. Glad to see you made it in one piece. I heard you were taking a couple of extra stops. Everything go okay?"
For the most part, we had a very interesting run-in at our final stop, right before Porta Maria. A jerk at Cross's Rest.
Yeah, I've been hearing rumors about you guys in Cross's Rest.
Oh, been going around.
May want to just keep your head down, maybe until you find your culinarian or your administrator.
Good idea.
So they can help you kind of smooth things over. They're saying some things. Did you really kidnap that kobold to sacrifice him?
No, he's right over here, and points over to probably Kozu coming down.
Yeah. I mean, look, I've seen the kid before. I just, look, the things that they're saying around town, probably best to get to your culinarians. In fact, maybe if you want, I can run and grab somebody so that you don't have to leave the ship or go too far.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Thanks.
Yeah, I just need to know who I'm getting.
Racklin.
Racklin, right?
Sounds good. I asked because there is a coin flip's chance of Racklin or Ranmar and Pelna. Both great options. So, Brendan runs off. He actually jumps off his crate and goes into a decent jog into town. About 15 minutes later, he comes jogging back, and in tow is a slightly disheveled, feathers kind of askew, Administrator Racklin. He's still standing with a decent amount of poise, but is breathing a little heavy. It looks like maybe he's been waiting for you too, just not on the dock. Jacob gives permission, because he's on deck, he doesn't care, and invites the administrator on board the ship. And when he sees you, Racklin is genuinely kind of relieved. Well, thank goodness. I'm glad to see you are all right. Please, tell me that you haven't given the guards any reason to take you in.
Well, process rest has been our only problem along our journeys.
Look, full disclosure, we know fully well that a lot of the people over there like to tell some tales. You aren't the first Culinarians Guild folk that have headed over there. Still, the mayor does have enough political power that he can rustle up some guards when there's some potentially legitimate claims. And missing children is one that the guards may want to look into a little. So, as long as he's blowing smoke, you should be all right.
So we do have the child in question in our possession. Hear me out.
Custody. He's in our custody.
He's in our custody.
Under our protection.
Under our protection, because we tried to reintroduce him to his home, and he was disheveled. He did not want to be there. He was scared, for lack of better terms.
We had reason to believe they were going to sacrifice him.
Yeah.
He cannot help but look incredibly perplexed when you say that. Head cocking, and he just stares at you for a second before he's like, well,
It's good for the goose, it's good for the gander.
I can't say that I know of much about any sort of sacrifice going on at Cross's Rest, but perhaps I can send some hunter initiates to investigate those claims. At the very least, it'll buy you a little time while we figure out what we're doing with the child.
Thank you, Racklin.
Of course.
Sorry for the heavy news, but that's our only bad news, and the rest is good news. We have we have everything that we need for the feast.
That is good news, but I wish I had as much good news to share with you.
What's going on?
Well, it hasn't been great here the last few weeks. I think I've mentioned here and there have been some disappearances and some murders.
Yeah.
Look, the city has tens of thousands of people. There's going to be a little bit of crime. The guildmaster is working on stamping it out where he can. But even so, some of these have been unusually brutal or awful. So, and one of them had the gall to target a culinarian. So we've been extra careful. Truthfully, I've been on pins and needles waiting for you to get back just to make sure that you're safe.
Well, we're here.
Good.
We should probably get back to the other two culinarians that we were assigned to after you, of course.
Right. I'll tell you what. Stay on the ship for a little bit. I'll go back to the Culinarian Guild Hall and see if I can't get some quiet lodging for the lot of you, and apparently an extra bed for the child.
Sounds good.
I'll also make sure that it's safe. It's my job to make sure that you get through this competition just fine, after all. And along the way, I'll see if I can fetch Ranmar and Pelna and have them meet you down here. Once we know it's safe, I'm sure we don't have to do anything out of the ordinary. I just want to make sure.
You're the fire in our furnace.
He turns and Brendan points. Yeah, Administrator, I'll go get the culinarians. I'm not doing anything. Ranmar nods and takes wing and flies off in the direction of the guild hall. And actually, once again, not too quick afterwards, Brendan comes back. This time, I'm in the wrong layer. Not the map layer. He is escorted by two culinarians that you guys haven't actually seen in a good long time. But the very young and spirited dwarf Pelna and the very, we'll say crotchety is a good way to do it, Ranmar. Same as before, they are given permission to board, and Ranmar, the second he steps on deck, walks right up to the first person who, since he's been doing most of the talking, is probably Rayun. Gives you like a big hearty handshake. Just, well, look at you. You look like you've aged, become a true hero. Oh, I can't wait to hear about your stories. Can't wait to see the things you've brought back for us to cook with.
We've got all the stories to tell you. And a cannon that was shot at me. I'll tell you more later.
Right. Yes. Pelna interrupts. Dears, you must forgive him. He has been so excited for you to return. And please, you don't need to say it out loud, but please just nod if you have returned his pot.
Rayun slightly nods.
Ranmar, he's right there. He catches on to that. And he just jumps. This man looks artificially old, but all the same leaps like a foot in the air to give you a hearty shoulder pat. I knew it. I knew you were exactly the people to trust. Oh, wonderful. This is such a good day. Everyone is here and accounted for. You look hale and healthy, although perhaps you need to be eating a little better. You did have the soup we sent off with you, yes?
And I think we need a refill on that.
I would hope so. It isn't supposed to last for weeks. We'll have to make you a fresh batch. Well, I can't wait to hear, but please, at the very least, confirm you've brought everything that you need. We've done most of the shopping and guild requisitions that we can, but we're going to need to get what we've sent you out for.
We are in need of the Horofex, right?
Yes, we've come to learn that Horofex flank seasoned with Cinderman might do quite well to sate his hunger. However, we don't know what Horofex is, hoping one of the hunters here might be able to help.
When you say Cinderman, Ranmar lights up like he just heard the word Christmas for the first time. He's Cinderman. I knew it wasn't cinnamon! That's ridiculous. Why would any put cinnamon in a stew? Oh, thank you. That's been driving me mad. Oh, Cinderman. Well, I should be able to get that. That's no problem. Right. Yes. And Horofex flank. That will be more challenging. But I'm sure you can get that. Pelna interjects once again and says, "We received your shipment of Herslan berries. Thank you. Do you have the turn eggs?"
We do on the ship.
Wonderful. Then
They're,
I think I have everything I need for my trifle.
By the way, Pelna, how's my friend Neko doing?
Oh, he's going to be so happy that you've come. He has been the best little helper. If I didn't know any better, I would say I didn't even need a sous chef anymore. You don't have a sous chef? We've sent them all across the world. Oh, I miss my sous chef. Should have sent you to grab me one of those. She takes a second to compose herself, having been interjected upon. Yes, well, we have one now, and he is wonderful. I will be happy to bring him by. It sounds like you're going to go to the guild hall first, though.
Yes, we have business to take care of over there.
Well, we won't keep you for too long, but it was very important that we get all of the ingredients that we sent you for. We'll get them into proper storage so that we can prepare them within our dishes when the time comes. We have a little bit of time on us, though. You made good time.
How many days left, Pelna?
We have just under 4 weeks, which should be more than enough time for you to go on another hunt. We need to track down a Horofex. Shouldn't be difficult. I'll look through the guild records. I'm sure somebody's put out a hunt for one recently, and we can see if they left a nest behind. I wonder if it needs to be mature Horofex. I'm sure it's fine either way. Cinderman.
You have that ingredient?
I bet I could requisition it. I'm running a bit low on credits, but I'm positive I can. Right, yes. That should be no problem at all. And is there anything else that you can think of? I just want to make sure we have everything in order before we send you off. It may be a little bit before we can get our hands back on you for some more work.
What did we decide on for a dessert course?
Well, that's my trifle, dear. Made with night shrike talons and herslum berries. The celestial stew will be the main dish. I don't think they're expecting us to have 2 dishes, though. I think they expect us to have only 1, and we will surprise them.
Well, Mom always said that that even one dish for one person should be made for an army.
Well, that is wise. Well, we shouldn't keep you. She is interrupted in a way that I don't think I can properly make noise for. The entire ship is rocked, like literally knocked sideways. You feel it swaying under you as the force of an explosion from somewhere within town rocks everything around you. The scale of that explosion is enough that this was not an oil fire, but some building in town is no longer there. Pelna and Ranmar both let out shouts and screams, and the entirety of the dock that you are moored in immediately gets to action as you hear a bell ringing throughout town that perhaps something has gone tremendously wrong. And that's where I'm going to end the session.
Whoa.
Dun dun dun.
That's a good one. Good ending right there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Gotta end it with that Michael Bay explosion to be continued.
Absolutely. Sometimes you just need to have a good cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you all. I feel like every time I end one of these sessions, I spend a couple minutes just being very appreciative, and I continue to do so. I love you all very much. Our next scheduled event was going to be on the 1st, but the 1st is Labor Day weekend, and I will be out of town, which is part of the reason we did this. The next after that is scheduled to be the 15th. So currently the plan is to aim for that. I thought about being greedy and seeing if we could schedule something else in the meantime, but I think it might be best to just let you guys simmer on a good explosion, and we'll all come back at full strength and vigor on the 15th.
I
That's
won't be
all right
here
with
the
you.
15th.
Gosh dang it, Foob!
I'm going camping. Sorry.
Glittering and smoke in the reef.
But you guys can definitely just pilot Tyrus. It's pretty easy. You just shoot things.
Okay. I will put out the usual call like a few days in advance and see if we see what people think. If we get everyone else, we can just run with you as Tyrus bot. And if not, we'll see if we can arrange things to find a place where everyone's comfortable.
The Nyrus. I was already thinking of names.
Just call me
Yeah,
Shooty
okay.
McShooter.
Shooty McShooty Pants.
That's what I do. I just shoot things.
Glittering
Wait,
and
Tyrus is on vacation. He's Byrus.
Yeah.
in
Oh,
the
dear.
reefer.
I mean, he's going to be talking even less than normal, so I'm going to think of him as Shyrus.
Nice.
But if nobody else has any business, I think, hey, we did it. We made it back to Porta Maria. We can finally start this arc. I'm very excited.
I mean,
Woohoo.
I'm pretty sure we saved a child from being exploited.
Yeah.
So
The nature of that exploitation, there were a lot of very reasonable guesses and estimates. But, definitely something bad.
it
That
wasn't
child
going
was
to be
going to get
good.
eaten.
It was not going to be good.
It was
So
going to get eaten
I'm proud of you all.
by
So-
Fat Cut.
So have a good night, everyone. I'm sure I'll see all of you around for something, but I look forward to the next session.
Thanks.
Oh, and
Yeah.
try real fast. Just like, hey, let me know, or have Meg message me when she sees the replay for that section, because
Okay.
I was really hopeful to get her reaction to that.
I'm sure she'll watch it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Have a good night, everyone.
You have
Night,
to
guys.
record her.
Good night.
Good night.
See ya.